Alright, ayun. So what's up and good day again to everyone who'll be watching this video. So this is Berio of BerioTrades.com doing another trade walkthrough video for today, June 8, 2025. So it's around 4:35 p.m. Philippine time. It's a nice Sunday. So nagkaroon tayo ng onting time to do a simple trade walkthrough video para at least ma-brief ko kayo on how I traded this Tesla, no? Tesla trade. And medyo na iwasan natin yung tulo talaga, yung tulo after the Trump and Elon Musk feud or yung away nila nung last Thursday, June 5, yung 17% down move. So nakaiwas tayo ng roughly 2 days, 3 days. So nakabenta tayo last Monday, June 2. Yun yung pinakahuling sell point natin or yung kung kailan natin kinlose yung trade, June 2. So this trade ended up gaining $5,000, $5,094, and yung initial dollar risk ko lang dito is simply $400 to $500. So upon entering the trade, I decided na if mas stop out muna on the trade, and along the path na nag-scale in ako, on the path na nagdadagdag ako ng shares on the way up, if nagmaterialize yung trade, the max loss I'm gonna be putting is $400 to $500. So this is a trade log 5094 net PNL. Started 0505 May 5 and ended June 2, 2025. So, andyan yung trade logs natin. You can pause this video. You can look at this trade logs para ma-analyze ninyo yung bawat movement na ginawa ko. But, ayun nga, in this trade walkthrough, I'll be discussing the main thought process na lang din overall. So again, ang naging net R-PNL, R-based PNL natin is 12.73 R multiple. So how do you get your R multiple, R-based PNL compute, paano mo siya kino-compute basically? So you're gonna get your net PNL and then divide mo siya sa baseline dollar risk mo. So giving us 12.70 R, 73 R multiple. So 5094 divided by $400, 12.73 R multiple. So basically, it just means that for every dollar I'm gonna risk, ang nangyari, ang naging ending is naging 12 times ng dollar risk per dollar risk na ni-risk ko, yung naging return. So multiplying it by 12 times with the dollar risk. So let's get into it. Tingnan natin yung overall trade. So ito yung overall snapshot. So looking at Tesla, before I even traded this. So if we're gonna revisit Tesla before I traded this, maganda yung naging earnings reaction niya. So one of the most notable moments of Tesla after this multi-month decline. So after niya mag-break down dito sa distribution range niya on this big fake out move, nahanap niya yung support niya at the $200 level, which is a round number area. So, near the $200 level. So, before earnings, nakita natin na it's forming a possible triple bottom or basically, it's an accumulation trading range where it found its structure support at $210, $220 area. So, on earnings, despite the bad earnings release, double miss siya actually. EPS miss and then revenue miss. So I was expecting na will gap down itong Tesla, no? I was expecting na mag-gap down siya toward 220 or way below 220. Kasi expected move is roughly $30 move, $20 move. So yung last close kasi 236 before earnings. So 220 with a $20 expected move, ang expectation is a gap down toward 216. Ang nangyari, nag-gap up siya papuntang 249, 250. So bottom line, maganda yung naging reaction niya on earnings. And after a few days, nagkaroon pa nga siya ng follow-through rally, follow-through day on day 2, day 3, day 4. And then reaching a resistance at this structural level at 290 to 85. So, nung nakita natin nag-resist siya at this level, I waited for a post-earnings flag setup. Basically, a consolidation after a strong rally after earnings. So, yun naman yung nangyari. Yun yung nag-materialize na scenario in which it formed a flag pattern after a strong earnings. So, initial entry point ko was May 5. So, I anticipated at 280 sa may round number area and roughly near the 10-day MA, itong black line. So, my initial entry was an anticipatory entry at 280 with the stops at 270. Actually, ito yung 65-minute chart. Bakit ko siya binili at the 280 area? Kasi nakita niya na yung support niya at the earnings anchored VWAP at the 65-minute chart. So, ito yung anchored VWAP natin, yung orange line, on earnings. So, every time kasi nagkakaroon ng earnings release, usually dyan ko pinaplot yung AVWAP, yung anchored VWAP. So, yung AVWAP is a strong support level, a volume-based support or resistance level. Para siya moving average, no? So, once it touched the earnings AVWAP, tapos nag-counter rally, doon tayo nag-allocate in anticipation for the possible breakout na itong post-earnings flag setup. So, thankfully, binigyan natin ng good enough breathing room, papuntang 270, hindi tayo na-stopped out dito. So, bought at 280. Ito yung trade log natin. Wait lang, medyo mabagal lang. Yan, 281 to 281.78, and then I added more at 280. 280 and then 320. So, tatlong tranches actually yung ginawa natin. So, 280 and then 320. So, yung 280 tranche natin was a double bottom reclaim of this earnings AVWAP. So, nung nakita ko na-reclaim niya yung 280, yung 50 SMA line ng 65-minute chart, doon ako nagdagdag. Kumbaga, doon na natin nakita na may possibility na undercut and reclaim to ng support level na ito. Yan. So, double bottom, undercut and reclaim. So, nung na-reach yung 280, nagdagdag tayo with the same dollar risk of $400. Tapos, tinighten natin yung stops natin at 275. Basically, I added with the purpose na madagdagan yung volume natin for the possibility na if mag-rally nga siya, mag-materialize yung rally, malagyan natin ng good enough volume para magatasan mo siya overall. So what happened afterward, a few days, rallied towards 320. I added on this inside bar breakout. So it's a minimum tranche or minimal tranche scale in. So halos ang liit lang ng tranche natin na 320, 39 shares lang compared with this core possession point at 280, 281. So nagdagdag lang tayo ng kalahati ng original value ng shares natin. So, giving me more volume, and then mas nakuha ko yung up move ni Tesla papuntang T47. And then at T49 T42 pala, nag-tranche out tayo ng onte. Roughly 20 shares ata ito, 20 shares. So, tranched out at 0514. So, na-reach na yung 1618 level target. So, paano ko nahanap yung 1618 target? So, coming from this accumulation trading range. So, kahit hindi naman exact points, basically, parang titreat mo lang siya sa range. So, in 342, sa critical area, the 1618 level is an anticipated resistance level. So, pinakasimpleng explanation yan, yung mga taong bumili dito will most likely sell at a profit at this 1618 measured move. So, at the same time, halos tutumbukin niya din yung 200-day moving average. So, gawin natin itong 200 SMA line. Hindi pala, sorry. 100 SMA line. Tapos, itong structure support area ng dating distribution range. So, ibang stock pala yung pinapertain ko. I think it was Eva or Eva. Anyway, going back, Tesla, it's strong anticipatory area of selling. Kaya tayo nagbenta at 342. So, after selling partial at 342, nag-form siya ng another flag pattern. So, my position is already up by roughly 4 to 5 hour multiple, more than pa. And then, I decided na maybe pwede tayong mag-buy on breakout ulit on this potential 5-day flag breakout. So, meron kang super tight candle range, super tight box pattern. Nung nag-breakout at 350, bumili ulit tayo at 350, 353. And then, tama ba yan? ano ba yun? 349, 349. 0520, 349. Tapos, nung nakita natin na nagkaroon ng rejection, yung May 21, I decided na ibenta yung binili kong shares at 349. So, despite it holding above the 10-day moving average. So, kumbaga, nagkaroon na ng discretionary decision na ibenta muna kasi it's showing weakness. And tapo and at the same time, nung mga panahon na yan, the market is actually correcting or parang getting choppy. So, kaya rin tayo nagbenta. I think it was the bond market auction sell-off. The 20-year bond market auction sell-off. So, nagbenta tayo ng konti, nagbenta tayo ng partial, and then yung remaining shares natin, we decided na if it closes below the 10-day MA, this black line, bearish candle close below the 10-day MA, we will sell all. Ang nangyari, after a few days, nag-hold up naman above the 10-day MA, and then managed to break out of this trading range. So, ang nangyari, we added again at 350. So, we're just using this anchor position, this core position as an anchor for the next setups. Angkla, di ba? Angkla. So, it's basically a risk-free trade na rin if you tranche up at this area. So, bought at 351, 352, tama ba? 351, 352, actually 353. And then, ended up na ibenta din at 348 kasi nakakita tayo ng rejection movement at this area. 348, ayan. So, nung nakita ko na, uy, parang fake out ata ito, nag-decide na ako ibenta yung binili ko at this point, at 353, 351. So, nung binenta ko na siya, I was firm na if it closes below the 10-day MA, benta na natin lahat. And then, ang naging last selling point was 0602, June 2. Then doon ko na rin loss yung trade. So, overall, ang naging main story ng trade, I had a core position at the post-earnings flag pattern, added on the round number area breakout, $300, and then selling at a key resistance area, selling parcels again at a key resistance area, bought back on the next setup, ended up selling again. So, multiple times ko siyang tinry itong flag pattern na ito at a key resistance area. So, maybe that was an error on my part. Pero, syempre, hindsight na lang din. Hindsight 2020. Syempre, hindi natin alam if magtutuloy siya, di ba? So, if hindi ako nag-tranche up, hinayaan ko lang yung runner position ko to do its thing, sayang naman, di ba? Hindi natin na-take advantage yung rally. Hindi tayo nakapagdagdag. So, pretty much yun yung naging ending ng trade, giving me a $5K gain, roughly 270K yun in pesos, Philippine pesos. Tapos, naiwasan pa natin yung total down move dito sa Thursday candle. So, kung hindi ko siya binenta at my strict trail stop, maybe, tatamaan ako nito. Halos lahat ng gains ko, most likely babalik ko. So, 17% down yan. 17% down siya. Na single day. So, yun yung mga moments na, uy, close enough, sayang. Buti na lang pala na nakapagbenta tayo nung trail stop at may trail stop area. So, ayun, yun lang naman yung overall trade walkthrough natin. Main lesson, have a core position, kailangan firm ka dun sa setup, you have a clear vision on the setup. So, kumbaga, starting with the end in mind. So, before I entered dito sa flag pattern na yun, I have the end in mind na it will or most likely test the $350, $360 area. Itong 1618 level. So, nung dumating sa time na yan, na nag-reclaim na siya ng 10-day MA, so, initial anticipatory entry, diba? At 281. Then, nung nagpakita na siya ng strength, nung na-reclaim niya yung 10-day MA, doon na tayo nagdagdag. Aggressive scale in na siya, aggressive scale in. And then the last fill-in was on the break of $300, 320, or the 100-day MA move. Break 100-day MA breakout move. So, nagatasan naman natin overall yung trade. Thankfully, the trade was executed nicely. Maybe I will rate it mga 8.5 out of 10 kasi nakabenta naman tayo before the issue crashed or the issue corrected. So, ayun. Yun lang muna yung ating trade walkthrough. So far, I think Tesla will experience some challenges knowingly na yun nga, kaway sila ni Donald Trump. Tapos, high probability magkakaroon sila ng regulatory issues. Kunyari, may papa-approve or something tulad for SpaceX, Tesla, mga government projects, government contracts. So, makaka-experience si Tesla ng ganong klaseng challenge moving forward. Pero hindi rin natin alam, maybe acting lang yan. So, ang focus lang natin, main point is we follow our rules, we follow technicals, we follow price. So, price is king. Yun lang yung final tip ko for everyone. Always follow price, always follow your plan. Huwag kang manghihinayang din on the times na you're attempting to press on the trade. Kumaga, gatasan yung trade. So if hindi man mag-materialize yung mga scale-ins mo, yung next tranches mo, okay lang. Ang pinaka-importante yung start to finish yung trade. Yung start to finish yung trade. You risk $400, you risk $500, gaano ba kalaki yung ginain mo on the trade? If more than 3-hour multiple yung na-gain mo, okay na yun. So that's it. I hope na madami kayo natutunan. If you have any questions, chat nyo lang ako. Ingat kayo, God bless, and goodbye for now.